Well, SABC sports analyst Mr. David Kekana joins us this afternoon to discuss the Afcon tournament and, of course, Bafana Bafana. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How I wish we were sitting here, in a different, topic, that we were through to the quarterfinals.
When you look at it, we have to take stock in terms of what happened. I don't think that it's bad that we're coming back home. And people are saying, David, how can you say that? Are you not patriotic enough? But when you look at a lot of things that happened throughout the tournament, it was just a bonus that we qualified for the tournament. And I think it was started by the coaching department in terms of Sheikh saying that you can't go to a tournament without dreaming that you should go into the final. And as a coach, you want to do well at a tournament if you qualify for such a tournament, and you want to progress to the quarterfinals or even the semi-finals. That's why you can't say to your boys, no, our aim is just to qualify. Then you don't have what we perceive as a drive as a coach. And the players, why would they want to go to a tournament just to go there and fill in the numbers? So you have to give them something that is attainable and say to them, guys, let's go there and do our best. And they've done their best under the circumstances. But I think we need to take a concise a review as far as the tournament is concerned, where we made wrong and what things do we need to fix to make sure that when we go into the qualifiers for the World Cup that we do right.
Yeah, and what are those things? Because the coach did say that the boys performed really well despite being booted out. But what went wrong?
I mean, if you look at the 3 games that we've played there, we took a lead. But we failed to maintain the lead that we took. We relinquished the lead. And I think going into the tournament, we played with 3 different goalkeepers. That for me is a problem, because then it shows us that we don't have a number one. And the coach was never really certain about who is supposed to be number one out of the 3 goalkeepers that he took there. That is a mistake from me. We should have taken somebody like Itumeleng Khune, even if he was 80%, because we know that he's always been our number one since, of course, the passing of Senzo Meiwa. He is the number 1 best goalkeeper in the country. That guy, even if he's 80%, you take, because he's part of your spine. As a coach, they will always say, do not play around with your spine, which is the goalkeeper, your central defender, your central midfielder, and your key striker. That is sacrosanct. The other players, you can play around with them, but your spine remains. And I think that's what we lacked. And again, he was unfortunate because Tulani Tlhajwayo got injured in defense, who was our key defender. And Kotsie was always in and out. I would have thought that somebody like Gaba should have started yesterday instead of Kotsie, who you could see he was limping and his inexperience showed in the back. And other elements is that Safa has got to take stock. We definitely now have got to finish the issue of the technical director as far as SAFA is concerned. Because if you had a technical director, the coaching department would have been taken to task about the issue of the goalkeeper. They've been taken to task about issues that relates to the problems to other goalkeepers, to other players, the likes of May Matlango, the likes of Patosi, the likes of Serrero. Those players had problems. Those problems should have been dealt with even prior to the tournament. So in essence, there's quite a lot of things to take stock of, but there's quite a lot of positives as well. If this team stays together, the coaching department is there, and we've got enough backup as far as the technical directors is concerned, I think this team will qualify for the World Cup and the team will do well. Moreover, we've got backup with the under-20s winning the Commonwealth tournament in Russia, and the under-17 going to the African Youth Championship. There is enough talent that is coming through to bolster the team that we have.
But Coach Hicks did warn us in advance that he wants to invest more in young talent. Yes, he would have a pick of those who are experienced and a pick of those who are young and up and coming. He did warn us. But still, fans were complaining, and I think you know this, Mr. Kekana, that even on social media, they were calling out Lutulunyane to play, they were calling out for Parker to play. Why weren't they given a spot to play? Well,
Lutulunyane's issue was that for the first game he was suspended. And in the latter games when he came through, you cannot really change a combination, because Fairman and Jali have been playing very well. So those 2 are your pillars as far as the midfield. I've spoken about the spine. They're part of the spine. So to bring in Lutulunyane and let him play would be to break that combination that was playing. And when he came on, even yesterday, the pace was just too fast for Lutulunyane. I mean, he's already 32 years old. You've got to consider those elements. And it was quite hot there. People don't understand the humidity and how it plays a role as far as the players. Whereas, I think in our planning, there's a lot of things that we did in our planning going to the tournament. We had a camp way too early, because we had a camp in December, and we gave them after that 2 days off the players. When you are going to go into the tournament like this, the players can't stay far too long before the tournament in camp, because staying in camp, it requires a different mentality for players to stay together in camp and to understand what it means to be in camp. I will give you an example. I mean, Mali have come out of the previous 2 Afcons. They've come out third in the previous 2 tournament, the Afcons. They know what it means to stay longer and stay together in a camp. And there are a lot of experienced players in Mali. In South Africa, they are a young team, and you get irritable because sometimes there's nothing to do for a player. I mean, it's all thinking about football, and sometimes they don't want you to read newspapers. You try and play small games, but it does not really compensate for the time lost and for what you find yourself, your mind all over. You need people to really work on the players' mentality to understand that the 2 weeks or even longer staying in camp. And that is another crucial element which I think Shakes missed when he had these players so long in a camp. And you could see yesterday, towards the end, they couldn't be bothered. They were tired.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but thank you so much, David Kekana, for joining us right here on PM News.
Pleasure.